267-495-4866 or DougCarnsProgram@gmail.com. It is Doug Karns here with Joe Balcom on the Doug Karns program. All right, let's move on to the occupiers, Joe, which I know is our favorite topic.
I was camping with them the other night.
Oh, were you? How was it?
It was amazing. We had, did drugs, had sex.
That's good.
Pooped on some cop cars.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, just the normal.
It's always
every day.
It's always a nice day when you're walking your dog and your buddies with you. Like, whoa! Don't step there. There's people poop there. Like that's always a sign of a great day.
Oh yeah.
But actually, the best would be telling your dog not to step in the people poop.
Yeah.
You're always worried about the dog stepping in the dog poop. But anyways, yeah. So the Occupy movement's going strong, right? It's hanging in there.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, it's getting warmer out for the hippies.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them freezing their butts
I can't
off.
wait till it starts snowing.
I know. They're like, what are you doing here, man?
I wonder how they fared last weekend.
Yeah, it's true. With all the snow, yeah.
But
they're probably like, man, I'm about to peace out. And then it got warm again. Like, okay, I can hang out for a little bit.
The colder it gets, then we'll see how dedicated they are to their movement.
Now, Joe, since you're new to the show,
yes,
how do you feel about these occupiers?
To tell you the truth, I don't want to, like we talked about last segment, I don't want to shut anybody down for what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
But they're really, like, they just don't strike me as people who know what they're talking about.
Yeah, well,
most of them at least.
Yeah, most of them there, you'll see interviews that they're like, well, we're not really sure what we're here for yet. We're trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But when we do, we'll get back to you.
And even the ones who do know something, I think they're targeting the wrong. They're going down the wrong path.
Well, they're talking about communism, Marxism. Mm-hmm. Some of them are Nazism, which they're all the same thing. I don't know why they think they're different.
Yeah.
But like you said, I don't have a problem with them protesting.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is, what are you protesting about? And how are you doing it? I mean, if you saw, it was on the Blaze last week, where protesters were just throwing chairs and tables into a Whole Foods store.
Oh, just like the Tea Party.
Just like the Tea Party. I mean, those grandmas
Yeah.
who took those lawn chairs and were throwing it at cops?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. They're nasty.
Tea Party might be a little worse than these guys.
It's a little
to
worse,
tell you the truth, yeah.
But you know why? Because they also had canes.
Yeah.
And those canes,
they're hard.
They are really hard. They hurt. But, this is the civil unrest is happening. Also in Oakland, they were throwing the crap into Whole Foods, scaring the shoppers. The shoppers had to be escorted out the back of the store for their safety. Now, when did you ever see a story about the Tea Party, about how shoppers were scared for their life because the Tea Partiers were barricading them in Whole Foods and throwing stuff at them?
Imagine that.
I mean, there's no such story. And like I said on my show all the time, I challenge you to find a Tea Party story, because I'll read it on the air and I'll say that, okay, here's one story that I was wrong about. But I guarantee you there's – and if you do find a story, I bet they weren't Tea Partiers.
Oh, yeah.
But so anyways, so not only were they throwing stuff into the Whole Foods, they have shut down a port in Oakland that was already struggling for survival. This was on the Blaze. So they're protesting about not having jobs, right, Joe?
Yes.
So they're the 99%. Correct. They have thousands of dollars of loan debt from schools. And they have no jobs. So they're helping create jobs by shutting down the port, right?
That makes sense.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, well, let's shut down this port. Let's blockade it, make sure nobody can use it, so we can create the jobs. But in a sense, they're actually hurting jobs, because now they had to shut down the port, and nobody's working on that port anymore. So now you're just adding to your 99% of people that just don't have jobs. But guess what, Joe? Did you see that Jesse Jackson came out and said that this
boy Jesse Jackson.
Exactly.
Love him.
He's awesome. He's
a great guy. Him and his son.
Yeah,
Jesse Jackson Jr.
They are fantastic. I'm down with his peeps.
Yeah.
That's how cool I am. But he came out and said that this Occupy movement is just like the civil rights.
And I would hope in the coming days that you would begin to feel the sense of people power as the foundation moves. You know, if there were a violent storm, and you were in a 30-story building, people in the penthouse, if the wind blew, would feel the impact because the roof would blow off. But only when the foundation shakes does everybody have to make an adjustment.
First of all, Joe, do you have any idea what he's talking about?
Absolutely not.
Apparently, he's talking about construction, about how a roof blows off a house, and I don't know, I'm lost. Let's just go back to it.
All right. Today, whether it is in Oakland or New York or Atlanta or South Africa or Britain, the foundation is shaking. People are saying we need economic justice.
Right. Justice.
We need shared economic security. We are free but not equal. And
But here's the thing. He's comparing this to the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement was about judge the content of my character, not the color of my skin, correct?
Yes.
And all Martin Luther King was trying to do is for everybody just to be on an equal playing field. Not in equal status, but on an equal playing field where everybody had the same rights, correct?
Yes.
So these occupiers are actually going for everybody to have equal stuff.
Oh, yeah, spread the wealth.
Yeah, so it's not even close. It's not even close to being civil rights. And it's just another lie that this movement is bringing in. You know?
Well, the left, the media, they'll twist it any way. Jesse Jackson will twist it any way he wants to make a point.
Yeah, and just because he can say civil rights movement is tied to the Occupy movement, that everybody will just believe him. But if you break it down, Martin Luther King was saying, no, we want equal justice, not social justice. We want everybody to be treated the same, no different, and everybody comes into this world broke, and everybody leaves it broke, and that's about it.
That's pretty much it.
Nobody gets special treatment. Everybody should just start from an equal playing field. But then you get the arguments of people saying, "Oh, well, some people aren't born into an equal playing field." Well, they still have a chance, an opportunity. People came over to this country. Immigrants have come over here just for the chance to succeed, not
with nothing.
Yeah,
they had nothing,
nothing,
and then they made something of themselves.
And it wasn't a guarantee, was it?
No.
Like they some of them may have fallen on their face because they failed so many times, but they just came. They've traveled so far on crappy boats to make it to Ellis Island and to come here just to have a chance to succeed. And that's all Martin Luther King said was, we want everybody just to have that chance. Nobody to be held back because of the color of their skin. Yeah. Now, if you're a horrible person and you're immoral, then, you probably should be held back in society because you'll probably be breaking the law or whatever. But when it comes to the color of your skin, it should not matter at all. It's all about your character. So, but before we leave for the week, let's kind of just touch on the Penn State thing.
Yeah.
Joe, you're a little bit more familiar with it than I am, but kind of the gist of it is...
Well, basically, Jerry Sandusky, he was the defensive coordinator for Penn State from, 1977 to, 99, I think. And, he basically built that Penn State, the defensive side of the ball. He's probably the reason why they were known as Linebacker U. Great defensive coordinator. He was, Joe Paterno, that was his right-hand man. And then all of a sudden, after he resigned in 99, and nobody, well, at least outside of Penn State, knew anything about the situation that would have came to light years later. But in 2002, when he was not with the program anymore, he was running a children's club or a kids club, teaching them football fundamentals.
It was basically a charity,
and he was witnessed in the shower. I don't want to get into detail, but he was doing something with a 10-year-old boy,
which is just what a scumbag. And I mean, anybody, you really have to be sick to do something like that.
I don't know how you get to that point in your head where you feel like you have to do that, but
and that's right.
Yeah, Well, he was witnessed in the shower with a boy, and it was a graduate assistant or something, and he reported it apparently to Paterno, Joe Paterno, the head coach, and then Paterno reported it to the athletic director, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's being crucified right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Saying that he didn't go far enough. Which,
I feel bad for Joe Pa right now.
Yeah, and he is the face of the organization. So
And
that's why I think he's getting so much scrutiny about it, because they're like, well, Joe should have done something about it. Well, Joe's just a coach.
Yeah.
He's not the dean. He's not the athletic director.
And it turns out that Sandusky, he was doing this for quite a bit, about a 15-year period.
Jeez.
It's unbelievable that this could have happened, especially in Happy Valley. But I think, not everybody, but a lot of people are asking for Paterno to step down. And I actually read on ESPN that Penn State's preparing for his resignation.
Yeah,
Paterno's.
in like days, I think they said.
And it's unfortunate because he built that whole program over the span of like 60 years.
Well, I mean,
And it's going to come down to
Penn State is
this.
Joe Paterno.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around.
No,
He is the face of that school.
absolutely.
I mean,
And
you could just say Joe Paterno, you just think Penn State.
And some moron on his coaching staff is going to bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
But the thing is, this is where people need to have some common sense and say he did the right thing. Why are we going after him?
It should fall on the athletic director and the president.
Yeah, they're the ones
because
that hit
he's
it.
the one that, or they're the one that he reported to.
I guess people are saying like, well, Joe should have went to the police himself. But again, just like the Herman Cain thing, he's a busy guy. He's the coach of a huge Division I school football team, and he's got tons of things going on daily.
Yeah.
It's not like, yes, I'm sure hearing that some guy is violating young boys, that sticks in your head.
Mm-hmm.
But you told the proper person to take care of it, the athletic director.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that hit it, said he can't come on campus anymore, right? Didn't they say?
Yeah, he was banned from campus after that incident, but not only from main campus, not from the satellite campuses around Pennsylvania. So he was doing his business for who knows if he was continuing that, but for the next 6 or so years after that, up until 2008, I think that's when that club ended. I'm not sure exactly when, but
thank God it did.
but yeah, it's a mess up there. I don't know. It's unfortunate that it's going to come down to this.
Yeah, because
Paterno may have to resign, but
yeah.
I don't want to.
I guess
because
before I talked to you off air, I said, well, I think Joe should, because he kind of didn't tell. But like after you tell me the details, saying, well, he did tell the AD.
Yeah, he took care of his legal responsibility.
Yeah.
Like they were saying, it's probably not his moral responsibility. He didn't.
But wouldn't you assume, I guess, if you told the athletic director, you'd be like, well, he's going to go tell the police or tell the authorities or
but
whatever.
Those clowns covered it up.
Yeah.
And they just
So
kind of kept it
that's
under
where
the rug.
I can give them, unless something else comes out and they know something more than we do.
And we'll find out in the next couple of days.
Yeah, but the grand jury, acquitted him, saying, that he had nothing to do with it. So, but all right, well, that's it for the show, Joe. I thank you for joining me.
Thank
this
you.
week, and I can't wait
was
to
a pleasure.
have you for next week. So,
All right.
thank you for joining the Doug Karns program. We'll see you next week at 7 p.m.